Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do create multiple hypotheses. We do not know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we create multiple hypos or trade plans, wait for the market to open up, see who takes control, and then execute the plan that best suits the market. Then adjust our plans or change our hypos depending on how the context changes within the market structure. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to. Then we do live trading analysis during the course of the regular trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So taking a look at yesterday we were looking for a rotational day, and our hypo 1 and our hypo 2 were equally weighted, but essentially we were looking for an open auction in range. We were looking for a move down into the 70 to 64 area, and then find buyers and rotate up. That was hypo 2. Hypo 1. Hypo 2 was open auction in range, and then move up. Failed to take out the overnight high, and then find sellers and rotate us down, and come down and form a base somewhere in the 2750 and move up. Hypo 3 was an open test drive and a break of that range low, immediately come down to the key line in the sand, and then break and push down through and back towards the microcomposite VPOC, which is the yearly VPOC down to 2775 area. And that's basically what we got. And we got down to this area, and we basically just chopped around. Big range again. Full session was 73 points. The RTH was 5850. So we're seeing the volatility sticking around here. Taking a look at the overnight. The overnight session is pretty balanced. I'd say it's a little bit net long, about 60% net long. We did get the extension down off of the trend day down to the 19, but they found the buyers. Now, there's a bunch of VPOCs in this area, 20, 22, and 2775, and we seem to have found some buyers here, and for the most part rotated back up, and we're balancing out just above the VPOC from yesterday in this 2740 to 41 area. But let's just take a step back. Let's take a look at the earnings first. Had Home Depot, Tyson, Advanced Auto Parts were the big three. All came out with good earnings. For the most part, the retail seems to be pretty decent, but there are a few more misses than what we've been seeing lately, but nothing to really write home about. We got that Tilray stock that should be interesting tonight. Switch, Wix, Pet IQ, those, not a lot of big names, but again, a lot of retail coming out this week. Going over to the economic calendar, 10 o'clock, we've got Brainerd speaking and Cash Carey speaking. 11:30, we've got the 3, 4, 6, and 8 week. But the big one later on is going to be the federal budget at 2 o'clock. And then we've got FOMC, Harker, and Daly speaking later on in the day. So not a big news day, but just keep an eye on that 2 o'clock, the federal budget balance later this afternoon. Each morning I start my day with the same routine. I go to a monthly chart, a simple candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA moving averages, what I'm doing is I'm just gauging to see where we are within the trend in that particular time frame. I'm I'm gauging the strength of the trend with slope and separation, price paralleling the 9, or whether or not we're challenging the trend with a move below the 9 or above, depending on which way the trend is. And are we possibly getting a trend change with moving through both the 9 and the 20? Beautiful upward trend. They challenged it earlier in the year. Then we got the continuation. Then in October, they took it all back. And here we are, sitting below the 9 and above the 20. And the trend is still intact, but it is being challenged. If we go to the weekly, we do have the start of a downward trend. They've tried to take it back, but so far they're rejecting the 9 from below, and we failed to get back above that 78 area, and getting a possible continuation of the trend down on the weekly. On the daily, we had taken the downward trend back, but we've fallen back through, and we're getting the possibility of a continuation trend down on the daily. We need to get back above that 55 area. Going to the 4-hour, you can see that we are in a downward trend. We've got good slope and separation. We're failing to get back above the 9. We just failed off of the 9 again, and looking like we're getting a continuation of the trend down. Going to the 30-minute, we are in a sideways consolidation, but we are failing the 9 and the 20, so we could get a continuation of this trend down, and this turn out to be a bear flag. Don't know yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But right now, we're below the 9 and the 20, so your bias still has to be to the downside. And that shows even more when you look at it structurally. We had fallen out of this balance here, come down. We found buyers down in the mid 2600s. They came up. We had the gap up. We created this micro composite, this 5-day micro composite, and the VPOC was 22 and a quarter, basically where we failed to continue in the RTH session. And the overall microcomposite in this area that goes from the October 23rd through to the November 6th, that VPOC is just below that at the 2720, and we went down to 2719 in the Globex. And of course, we've got the longer time frame microcomposite, the yearly microcomposite, which is just above that at the 2775. So we've got this cluster of price acceptance. We need to hold this area right here, and we need to get back above that 51. We've got clear, CLVN. This is also the value area high of the microcomposite that goes from the October the 23rd through to the 6th. So if we can get above there, we're back outside of this value and back up into this distribution zone here. But we're not there yet. Right now, we've come back down into this distribution zone, and we're just chopping in this area. Key areas to pay attention to. Our key line in the sand above is going to be 2751. Key line in the sand below is going to be 2707. And really not a lot to go on in this area other than these 3 microcomposites. So just watch this cluster and see if we can hold this range between the 28 and the 19 and accept this value again to take another run towards the 51. If we get below these, look for them to come down through and test down into the 2707 area. Overnight inventory, a little bit slightly long, but again, I think it's pretty balanced. We have a microcomposite VPOC at the 4150. That's our overnight VPOC. Our overnight high is 50 and a quarter. That's right at the value area high, the mid, the LVN from yesterday, and it is our key line in the sand because it is the composite LVN. Our overnight low is down at 19, so we failed to extend the auction and hold below the prior day, and we're back inside of the value area from the prior day. So with the fact that this was a big breakdown, I'm looking for continuation lower, but as I said, we have to watch this cluster here between the 28 and the 19. That's a big area of price acceptance, and we held both in the RTH and the Globex. So what is my hypothesis or hypotheses today? I'm looking for an open auction in range, in value. I'm looking for a move up into the overnight VPOC and yesterday's VPOC, and somewhere between the 39 and the 50. I'm looking for sellers to step in, rotate us down, close out the gap, and then get the continuation through. And I'm looking for a move down towards that 2707. That is going to be our key line in the sand below. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Get this out of the way. Our daily ATR is running at, that's the full session 20 period. Average true range is running at 57.02. So off of the overnight high of 50 and a quarter, our downside daily ATR target is down at 26.9350. And off of the overnight low of 27.19, our upside daily ATR is up at 27.76. And that's right near the week open as well. All right, so in terms of hypotheses, I'm looking for hypo 1, open auction, in range, in value, a move up to test the 39.40 area, and then somewhere between the 39 and the 50 area, I'm looking for sellers to step in, rotate us down, break the overnight low, and come down into this 2707 area, and then basing and getting rotation back up into this cluster of microcomposites. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction in range, a move down into this 19 area, break below the range low from yesterday, but failed to continue the auction. And somewhere between the 19 and the 07, I'm looking for buyers to step in and rotate us back up through and come up and chop inside of the value area and close somewhere in around the 25 to 37 area. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a continuation down, a open test drive, failure to get above the 51 area, break below this cluster, come down into the 2707, and then fail and push down and come down and test into the 2600s and come down here, somewhere in the 2692 and a quarter to 2684, then base and start working our way back and close somewhere just above the 2700. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a take-back day, open auction in range, failure to break below the prior day range, leaving the overnight low alone, take out the overnight high, break above the key line in the sand above, and push up and come back up towards the week open and yesterday's range high. Remember, we still have a week high up here. The double top, it's actually a double top with a bottom to boot. up at the 27.95 and a quarter and break through that and come back up into the 2800. And I'm targeting the 2800 as a hypo 4 type scenario, as a trend take back day up. So that's my hypotheses for ES. Taking a look at gold. Gold is finally broken out of that balance, and it was down, and here we are testing down in the 2700, I'm sorry, the 1200 area, and down to that target, that microcomposite VPOC that we broke out of at the 2702 that we fought. 2-day balance. Is up here at the 04 area. So if we can hold the 2702, look for them to come up and test this, possibly come up into the 2707. If we do not hold here, I'm looking for a break of the 1195 area and a push through to take out these two fractal lows and a push down into this LVN, CLVN down here at 1180 and a quarter. If we get above the 1207, look for them to continue up and test the other side of this balance up here at the 1210. But we are at a vicarious situation here where we could not hold the breakout above. So we've come back and we've, looking for buyers. Will they find them here again, or will they push lower? And my hypothesis is likely to see this push through and break these two fractal lows down here and come down and test the 1180. We still have a lot of repair work down in this area down here in the 1150 area. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.